What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 2 team builder, taking on Zach and the Adelaide Redraks in W.A.I.L.O.R.D, the wonderful amateur invitational league of ridiculous drafts. I'm recording this after Zach has made one drop. This is my second go around with the team. I didn't have to change a whole lot after his drop, but he did end up dropping Salazzle for Comfy, and I just realized that his team is not updated on the team builder, but that's fine. It's not the biggest deal in the world. So he doesn't have the Salazzle anymore. He's got Comfy instead, which I've updated on the speed tiers, which is really what matters more. So let's run through his team then. He has Uxie, Aerodactyl, which is a Z user, Manectric, Jellicent, Alolan Raticate, which is a Z user, Sock, which is a Z user, Carbink, which is a Z user, Serena, Comfy, Dragonair, which is a Z user, and Mudsdale. He has priority options in Raticate with Sucker Punch, Alolan Raticate with Sucker Punch, and Comfy with its Triage ability. He has Hazard Setting in Uxie with Stealth Rock, Arrow with Stealth Rock, Carbink with Stealth Rock, and Mudsdale with Stealth Rock. He has removal options in Aerodactyl with Defog, Serena with Rapid Spin, and Comfy with Defog, and he has 2 4-times weaknesses in Raticate, Alolan Raticate to Fighting, and Carbink to Steel, losing his ground 4-times weakness in Salazzle, which doesn't make a huge difference against my team. I actually felt that Salazzle was better against my team, so I'm sort of miffed as to why he would have dropped that. It was nice having a speed tier for him between Manectric and Aerodactyl as well, so I really liked Salazzle, and Salazzle's a monster in this format. Offensive fires are really good in tier 3 and below, and Salazzle's a fast, specially attacking offensive fire, which is not similar to what, things like Darmanitan and M4 do. So there you go. So looking at our team, actually I'll run through what I'm expecting. Uxie, Aerodactyl, Manectric, Jellicent, Serena, Comfy, and Mudsdale. 6 of those 7 I think are going to come. Sock is probably the one that throws in a maybe for me. Carbink could come, I don't really see it coming. Lone Raticate, again, I don't really see it coming. It can stop Duosion. If he's really scared of Duosion, it can stop Duosion. That's about all it does for him. It's pretty much just free setup fodder for Slurpuff, to be completely honest, so there you go. Dragonair, again, I don't really think it's coming. Dragonair's kind of got a lot of useful utility, and he could bring it with like a Thunder Wave set to be able to take on my Slurpuff a little bit better, but who knows. So let's start with my team. This is my dedicated lead. I'm bringing Slurpuff, and we're a Belly Drum set. Surges Berry with Unburden, Belly Drum, Facade, Player Off, and Drain Punch. Initially, before Facade, I had Return on the set to hit the Salazzle, because that would hit it the best. But instead, I decided that I can set up on anything now and get a Facade off. So if he wants to burn me with the Jellicent, then that's kind of okay, because I can set up the +6, and then a +3 player off is still going to do a lot to it. And to anything else, Facade is going to do a whole lot to them. So that's kind of what we got going on there. Player off is really good stab. It hits everything neutrally. I don't think he's got to resist a fairy on his entire team now that he drops Salazzle. So Player off is hitting everything either super effectively or neutrally. And Drain Punch is there to give me a lot of health back. It's also reliable against something like the Raticate. Drain Punch is really reliable against Raticate. It's basically just reliable against anything that I can't just click Player off against, which is pretty much Comfy. So I would imagine he picked up Comfy for the priority that he can get, and he can Draining Kiss my Slurpuff when I'm low. I'm not entirely sure how much that's going to do for him, depending on if I get a Drain Punch off on something else prior and all of those other factors. But yeah, Slurpuff's my dedicated lead. I can just set up the Belly Drum turn 1, and then I can either win the game in 7 turns, or I can punch holes for my other sweepers later. So that's the Slurpuff set. Running 208 speed Jolly, which lets us outrun Scarf Manectric with Unburden Boost. I don't think he's going to bring Scarf Aerodactyl. Makes absolutely no sense against my team when I have 2 base 95s and he can run Adamant, very reliable against me. So I might still even be able to outrun. I might even still be able to outrun a Scarf Aerodactyl just based on his speed investment. Max attack, and the rest is in HP. Next up is Shelmet, our physically defensive wall. This is a great way for us to deal with Serena and Sock. Both of those kind of get shut down by this set. Same with Mudsdale, unless he's running some rock coverage. It's our physically defensive wall in Shelmet, and we're bringing T-Spikes and Spikes against him. Since he dropped his T-Spike Absorber, T-Spikes actually look really good against his team. Aerodactyl can obviously come in and, phase them out, stuff like that, but I think this is pretty decent. We can come in on this arena, and if he wants to spin on us, I've got the Leech Life there for it, and I've got Recover just for some good recovery, so I can stay in on things like the Sock, the Serena, and the Mudsdale a little bit longer. Pretty standard Shelmet set with physically defensive. I don't know, that's pretty much all it is. It's Shelmet's debut. we're also bringing Rotom-Mow, which is our defogger for the week. Defog, Volt Switch, Will-O-Wisp, and Leaf Storm. Pretty standard. Leaf Storm is mostly there for the Mudsdale, which is going to come in and try and stop my Volt Switches. Everything else I can Volt Switch on for free. This 1v1s the Jellicent very, very well. Although I didn't bring Pain Split, so it's not a huge deal. Will-O-Wisp is there to burn some stuff, something like an Aerodactyl I can burn, Sock I can burn, Serena I can burn, Raticate I can burn. I mean, anything, nothing wants to get burned on his team, to be completely honest. He could bring Aromatherapy on the Comfy, though, or on the Serena. We're running a ton of speed on here to outrun the Sock. If he's not Scarf, then we'll outrun the Sock and we can burn it. Max Special Attack to get a little bit more out of our things, and then I'm running 8 in defense. So it can kind of reliably take some hits. We're running Duosion with the Magic Guard ability and the Violite, fully physically defensive with a tiny bit special attack. If Raticate's not there, then this Duosion set can put in a lot of work. He does have quite a few knockoff users on his team. Off the top of my head, he's got Uxie, Raticate, Serena. Salazzle actually got knockoff, Sock as well. Salazzle got knockoff, but he dropped it. I don't know if Comfy gets knockoff or not, but that's still 4 really good knockoff users to get rid of my Violites, because I'm bringing 2 this week. Calm Mind, Psychic, Shadow Ball, Recover. Calm Mind, Recover, pretty obvious. Calm Mind for the setup, Recover for recovery. Psychic hits everything bar the Raticate, and Uxie's not gonna... Uxie can tank Psychics pretty much for days as well. So Shadow Ball is there for the Uxie. It's gonna hit the Jellicent really well. Obviously, I can't actually touch the Raticate. He's immune to all of my attacking moves, so I have to switch into something else to deal with the Raticate. And that's the Devotion set, pretty much. You know, it's got a really good special attack stat. It can set up and win the game potentially for me. I spotted this in team preview a while ago. The only things I've changed up, by the way, is I ended up adding Yanmega to the team and dropping Machamp, and I changed Return on Slurpuff for Facade. That's pretty much it. So this is my second go around, but that's all I changed. You guys will never see the first one. I've actually deleted it already, but there you go. Next up is Rampardos. Bring Bump. Its season debut as well as Duosion's. Choice Scarf, Sheer Force with Rock Slide, Earthquake, Facade, and Crunch. Crunch absolutely destroys the Jellicent with Sheer Force, and the fact that we can run Adamant against this team helps a lot as well. Excuse me. Rampardos, with this speed investment, can outspeed anything speed creeping over my fastest mons, which are Darmanitan and Yanmega, and I know that he's going to be speed creeping because Jed's helping him, and I know that because I was helping Zach, and I'm muted this week because obviously we play each other, and that's what I would do. So I'm speed creeping over his speed creep with the Rampardos, which means I should outspeed everything on his team, unless he's running a Scarfer. Sheer Force boosted Rock Slide does a whole heck of a lot to pretty much anything else on his team except for Sock and Mudsdale. And I've got the Earthquake there for something. Ugh. Excuse me, I can't remember what the Earthquake was even for. It doesn't really make sense to have Earthquake on the set. I think it might have been for the Carbink. So I'm actually just going to change this last minute to either Iron Head or Stealth Rocks. Probably Stealth Rock, because I don't have rocks on the team, and getting up rocks at some point could be useful. So we'll run the Stealth Rocks, and Facade's just there in case I get burnt or T-Waved or something by something. Then Facade's going to do a heck of a lot of damage because it's base 165 attack. Like, hitting 471 attack is absolutely ridiculous to me. 244 speed, yeah, again, like I said, we're speed creeping over a speed creep, and then max stack, and I have an odd value of HP and tiny bit of defense. Last but not least is Yanmega or Sega. I realized this has no switch-ins, especially after you drop Salazzle. I mean, because Salazzle was something that outsped this. So the 2 threats to this that I see are the Aerodactyl and the Manectric, which are the only things faster than it. And besides them, well, he can't switch in. He can't switch them in, by the way. Nothing can switch in on this Yanmega. Bug Buzz 2-shots everything on his team. So that's the goal, is basically get myself to a point where Yanmega can 2-shot his entire team with Bug Buzz. I've got the U-turn on there if necessary, and I've got basically the other 3 moves don't really matter. I have Giga Drain on there in case I need it against something like the Mudsdale or the Jellicent, if I need to get a bunch of health back and so that I can switch in on rocks again or something like that. And I have the Psychic on there for the Sock if I need it as well, because I decided not to run Air Slash because I don't want to miss. Max Speed lets us Speed Tie with Uxie, and I'm running Max Special Attack with the rest into defense, a little bit into defense. We can actually switch in on a close combat from Sock pretty easily, but he can always predict me and go for the Ice Punch. Ice Punch makes a lot of sense against my team for the Palo-Sand, unless he just wants to run Knockoff in that slot because I have 3 Violet users on the team. So that's sort of what we're going in with, yeah, that's our matchup against Zach. So I will see you guys for the match.